The Lord tried 1.5 Rancho Man on the outside of Defoe. Then came Monsieur. They're followed by Pearl Prince and Sosfeld. In behind them is Cogitate, Campaign Warrior. 1.5 Doremus, well back to Draft Choice, My Bodyguard, and True to Label dropped out to last as they come up to the home turner. At the 650, Ben's Rocket by a length to Street Ruffy and half a length away Lord Trident. In behind them Defoe, Rancho Man, close handy, being followed wider on the track by Monsieur. At the head of the others then Cogitate over on the fence, and wide on the track is Sosfeld, and back behind them is Draft Choice, followed by Campaign Warrior. In the straight, running down past the 400 metre mark, and Street Ruffy, and it moved up on the outside to take the lead from Ben's Rocket. Rancho Man is under the whip, Lord Trident, Monsieur finishing on strongly, and so is Sosfeld from a fair way back, and Campaign Warrior down the outside. Here comes Monsieur. Monsieur on the outside has dashed to the front. Campaign Warrior, Cogitate finishing fast, but Monsieur is the leader. Cogitate flying home will be too late. Monsieur in front and is going to win it. Monsieur wins it from Cogitate. I think Campaign Warrior third, probably just ahead of Doremus and Street Ruffian, and then Pearl Prince, and back behind them is Rancho Man, followed by Sosfeld. Further back, Ben's Rocket, Defoe. True to Label, Draft Choice, Lord Trident. Last home, My Bodyguard.
Well, he was a big flop, wasn't he, Rancho Man? And as we picked them up, Monsieur, formerly trained in Sydney, now in Bart Cummings' now in Lee Friedman's Flemington stables, has just gone past the leader, Street Ruffian, and he burst clear, Monsieur, and goes on to win from Cogitate in the orange colours over near the inside, and down the outside in the white and purple colours, it's Campaign Warrior. I think you'll find or grab third placing. But Monsieur, one of the D.L. Friedman trained from Flemington, ridden by Rod Griffiths, was just too good. And on that note, as we look at Monsieur, let's take a break and then come back shortly with more on Epsom Day from Royal Randwick.
Wonderful day at Randwick today, but at Flemington we've just seen race 5, and there's the dividends: $9.50, $3.10, $3.50 Campaign Warrior, $8.20. Let's take a look at the Quinella, $41.50, the trifecta, $2,513.40, the extra double, $643.70. Right now, here is Kenny Callender. Let's take a look at race 5 here at Randwick.
Yeah, thanks very much, Ken. The Craven Plate, only a small field, 5 runners. I don't think John Tapp will take his money for calling this one. Deposition is showing $6.50. Silk Ali, stablemate of Dane Wynn, will go to the front. Whether he can hang on is showing $4. Navy Seal is a scratching. Fraternity, $1.80. Pretty short odds, but hard to beat. Being set for the Caulfield Cup in a fortnight. Falcon Walk, $18, and booked $5.50. Very, very tricky race. I think I'll go for Fraternity. And a man who's tipped 3 out of 4. What are you going for, Mel?
Got to go for Fraternity. I think the small field was really right up his alley back to Randwick. I just think he'll prove too good from Kenny.
Well, we're back on track. I should have stuck with you on Dane Wynn. Tell me, you're a bit lost for words when you were interviewing Jackie Chi when he come back on Dane Wynn.
Definitely, it was one of the funniest interviews I've ever done in my whole life. I said before the race that if Jackie wins it, we're in a lot of trouble. I had to ask the question and answer it. It was a very, very difficult interview, I tell you right now.
His English is about as good as my golf.
Exactly, you said that, not me.
Malcolm Johnston and I both tipping Fraternity. Let's see what my mate Mahatma's tipping.
Thank you very much, Mr. Callender. Well, I'm surrounded by these beautiful girls. I am getting desperate. I just can't seem to get a winner. I was telling the girls I am looking for an omen, and like you, I am tipping Fraternity. You know why? At the birth of my first baby, I am buying my wife Shiraz a beautiful new Fraternity dress. And on the way home in the car, I am spilling dye on it. Now we have got the great Jane dye on Fraternity. Has to be a winner, don't you think? Back to you, Mr. Sutcliffe.
Can you hear me, Mahatma?
Yes, I can, Mr. Sutcliffe.
Well, you may not be winning too much on the track as far as the horses are concerned, but you have done very, very well where you are right now.
I'm telling you what, guess who the girls are tipping too? Thank you very much. Having a very good time here, Mr. Sutcliffe. Back to you.
Indeed you are. Okay, let's take a look at what's happening in fashion here at Royal Randwick on this Epsom Day, and I'm joined by Angela Bell McSweeney. You got the Randwick salute.
The Randwick salute here. We're windswept by a hurricane, but it's a wonderful day, Ken.
Sure is. I tell you what, it's not as bad as what we've had during the week with all that heavy wind, but this is terrific today. Tell me, as the woman who goes around and is looking at the fashions, do you get people coming up to you and say, Ange, I wouldn't mind being on television, having a look at these fashions as we do now?
No, I find the Australian psyche's a little different to that. I had to cajole them into it. So we had some wonderful fashions today to show you, though, Ken. There's Jane Lambert, who's a brilliant designer, and the beautiful Kate Fisher just appeared a moment ago. That young girl has just won a $100,000 modelling contract, actually. Rachel Higgs, Victoria Morrish, Kelly Barker, looking fabulous with feathers and veiling. Another group of gorgeous models there, and that's Kelly's hat again. It's an Isabella Crompie, isn't it divine, with all the feathers and veiling and lots of good legs on show today, Ken.
Yes, the short dresses seem to be very much in vogue, aren't they?
Yes, they are. And black and white's always a winning colour at any race course. Those hats are fabulous. I don't know how she she was going picking a winner, but again, they're wonderful Jane Lambert design hats. Cream and the soft colours of yellow there, long hair flowing down Susan Sangster style is always a winner. Girls drinking champagne and having fun, and I think looking at the boys more than the horses there. Again, cute little ones, a little cloche hat, and the birds...
Looks like a bale of hay.
We were very pleased the bird didn't fly past. Actually, the elegance of that suit was exquisite, and that's a new see-through straw, which is very popular and in fashion. And again, a beautiful Breton with roses. There's the lovely Anna Fairfax, daughter of Mary Fairfax. And again, cloche hats, big flowers and ribbons. A longer length skirt, which we really haven't seen very much of this season. Flower power all the way, and there we see the heels sinking into the lawn as the sun sets, and again sprayed with flowers, a gorgeous straw, and the lady looking very elegant. Race dressing is wonderful for the designers because it gives them a chance to see their outfits fully coordinated and accessorised in just the right way.
I tell you what, I think that the plastics had a real working over for this weekend. Some husbands are going to go back and find their bank account somewhat depleted.
Well, they always say that fashion's a great yardstick for the economy, and I must say, looking around today, that I saw a lot of new outfits and new fashions, and that particular girl just looked divine in Studebaker Hawk and a country road. I think it's more what you wear than how you wear it today.
Yeah. Well, I guess we've got to judge you now, haven't we?
Oh, no, don't do that. Well, you're my mate. I should be fairly safe.
You've done very, very well. Maxie and I were going to try and wear a hat, but none of them suited us, but maybe next time.
The main thing to wear with a hat, Ken, is a smile.
Yeah, and be absolutely composed no matter what's happening around you. Maybe force 10 gale going out there, but you look as if the hat belongs.
Of course, of course.
Okay, cool under pressure. We'll be back at Royal Randwick right after this.
Danger.
Yes, just more of the crowd milling around, and the next race that they're going to see is the Craven Plate here at Royal Randwick on the 1994 Epsom Day. And the Craven Plate in centre screen there is Silk Ali, ridden by Aaron Kennedy. Aaron was a top apprentice a season or two back, and he's got a particular affinity with Silk Ali. Let's look what price he is. Number 1 Deposition is actually showing $5.50. Number 2 Silk Ali, $4.50. Number 3 Navy Seal is a scratching. Number 4 Fraternity, as I look over at the tote, is showing $1.80. Number 5 Falcon Walk is out to $21, and number 6 Booked showing $5.50. Now, my favourite racing lady, Anne-Marie Sparkman, has caught up with one of Sydney's leading trainers. Here she is.
Thanks, Kenny. Okay, we're with John Hawkes. He's got 2 in this race. That's Deposition and Booked. I guess Deposition would be the best of your chances.
Yeah, I think he is Anne-Marie. You know, he's never gone 1.25 miles, so we're perhaps hoping a little trot walk canter and he might be able to outsprint him at the finish. And Booked, you know, she's an Oaks winner, but, you know, she's a...
She didn't look very happy when she was going out there.
No, she gets a bit excitable until she gets out on the track, and then she's fine, but she's...
I think you said she was a typical female, didn't you, John?
I said something along those lines, Anne-Marie. But, you know, she'll run well, but she's not really a weight for age. She's just fitting her up for another day, really, but if she runs well, it's a bonus.
And what about in the Epsom? You've got Tenor there. I mean, you must be hoping for big things.
Yeah, well, we've had a lovely preparation, and everything's worked out lovely, weight-wise, barrier draw, and it's just having a little bit of luck on the day, and all big Group 1 races, you always need a little bit of luck, but couldn't be more pleased with the horse, and everything's run to plan.
All right, thanks very much, John.
Thanks,
Lee,
Anne-Marie.
Deposition, Falcon
Thank
Walk.
you very much, Anne-Marie Sparkman. And there in centre screen is Deposition, John Hawkes' candidate for this race, or one of his two candidates, Deposition and Booked. Deposition is untried at the 2,000 metres, but he just might outsprint them if they happen to crawl. Shane Dye knows all about tactics, particularly in weight for age races. Here's Shane's thoughts.
Race 5 of the day, the Craven Plate. With only 5 runners, barriers are of little importance. Sulkali, who's drawn barrier 5, should go to the front. A horse I'm on called Fraternity should just end up outside of him, or one back and one out. The place will probably be slow, so from the half mile, I'll look to be attacking the leader, Sulkali, to make it a truly run race. If I'm a chance to win the Caulfield Cup on Fraternity in 2 weeks' time, he's got to win this race today.
Yep, couldn't agree more, Shane. In fact, you'd have to wonder about if a trip to Melbourne would be worthwhile if he can't get away with these. I mean, Falcon Walk is a 5-year-old mare with indifferent form. Booked is an Oaks winner in Queensland, but she's now racing older and more seasoned horses. Silk Ali is, well, I don't think there's any doubt he's not as good as he was. A couple of years ago, he won a Sandown Cup and raced well at absolute top level, but his recent form has been very indifferent. And Deposition is an 8-year-old who hasn't won for quite a while, and in fact, he's never won beyond 1,600 metres. So if Fraternity can't beat this bunch, his price for the Caulfield Cup will take a very big drift, I'd imagine. All right, Mal, I'm sure you'd agree with those sentiments, mate. He's got to win this.
Most definitely, Tappy. It's he looks well too. Silk Ali's the other one that looks well, but if he don't win this, he's in a lot of trouble because everything seems to be going to go his way. It's a small field, which I think will suit him. Back to Randwick, everything's in his favour. He just looks the winner for mine, Tappy.
I agree with you, mate. Thanks for those comments, and here we go. They're moving in for the Craven Plate. Deposition is the first into the stalls for the Craven Plate, comes into the number 1 gate. Fraternity, whose older brother Telesco will run in the Epsom later, is about to straighten up and move in. Falcon Walk, a Newcastle mare. Silk Ali, winner of the Sandown Cup a couple of years back. Now the rider of Booked has dismounted, Michael Evans, and the gateman gets behind here to shepherd Booked up into the stalls, and she obeys rather meekly. Booked has now moved in. Michael Evans about to remount. Fraternity next along. Falcon Walk and Silk Ali will be the last couple. Quite often we see a small field in the Craven Plate. I can remember 4 runners in this not too long back. Don't ask me what won it, but I can still see them jumping away with a field of 4 in the Craven Plate, maybe 8 or 9 years back. Now Deposition has the inside stall. You'd wonder why, wouldn't you? It's worth $120,000, $81,000 to the winner. Now the last couple have moved up and they're all set and ready for dispatch in the time-honoured Craven Plate, a race won by Farlap, Peter Pan, Shannon and Tulloch and many other great ones. Off and running, good start. If anything, Booked a shade slow as a clear last to leave the gate. Deposition actually bobbed out in front, headed straight away by the grey mare Falcon Walk. Silk Ali is being allowed to gather speed by Aaron Kennedy, and he's going to lead now as they go by the 1,800 mark. Silk Ali pricks the ears as he crosses to the fence in front of Falcon Walk. Fraternity is third, about 2.5 lengths away on the outside of Deposition, who wants to pull a bit early, and 1.5 to Booked, who's last of the 5. Silk Ali steadied again by Aaron Kennedy as they go into the back straight, led by 2.5 to Falcon Walk and 1/2 to Fraternity. Dye's not going to let Silk Ali get too far away. And then on the fence, Deposition, and a head away Booked on the outside as they go down the back. Aaron Kennedy trying to steady Silk Ali, who wants to go faster, led by a bit more than 2 to Falcon Walk, 1.5 lengths to Fraternity, 3/4 away on the fence, Deposition, and 3/4 to Booked, who's racing one off the rail. No change in order in the run to the top turn, and Silk Ali is a clear-cut leader by 1.5 lengths to Falcon Walk, a little more than 1 length to Deposition, and a head away Fraternity, and 1.5 lengths to Booked, who's last of the 5, and 6 lengths off the lead. Coming around the top turn and down the High Street side at the 800 mark, and Silk Ali the leader by 1 length to Falcon Walk, 2 to Fraternity on the outside of Deposition, and 1.5 lengths to Booked as they go by the 800. The pace is genuine, and Silk Ali the leader, Falcon Walk second, Fraternity third. Dye starting to push him along as they come to the turn, followed by Deposition, and Booked is last, but tracking up behind them as they come to the turn. 500 100 out. Silk Ali, the leader, by 2 lengths to Falcon Walk. Deposition is getting up on the fence and now switches around the heels of the leader, and he's got the run on the inside of Fraternity as they turn for home. Over the rise, Silk Ali, the leader. Deposition in the middle and Fraternity on the outside. He's half-hearted at the moment, Fraternity. On top of the rise, Silk Ali still in front from Deposition in the centre. Fraternity on the outside, having a struggle to reach them, and he wants to run off the track. It's Silk Ali, just the leader. Now Fraternity knuckling down to his work. Fraternity coming at Silk Ali. It's going to be a ding-dong go as they come to the line. Silk Ali, Fraternity in the last drive. He got there in the last bound over Silk Ali, with Deposition third, followed by Booked, and the long last is Falcon Walk. Well, it took him about 33 minutes to win, Fraternity. It was only the last bound of the race, and he wanted to shift his ground under pressure. He probably hung out 3 or 4 horses over the last 200. Fraternity is going to pay 170 and 120. Deposition will pay 230, and there'll be no third tote. Strike me pink, Ken. Was that a Caulfield Cup trial or not?
Well, John, the one thing in his favour is that he's an out-and-out stayer. They didn't go hard, and then when they accelerated, he looked gone. Shane Dyer thought rode him very well. He stayed cool, and then when he just kept coming and coming like a true stayer, I think in a more genuine race, we'll see a better Fraternity. I wouldn't really bag him on it, even though he only just fell in. Fraternity, as we pick them up here, it's all in pink, isn't it? Silk Ali on the inside. Deposition failed to run the trip in the middle, and Fraternity out deep in the pink and the black and white. He just kept coming and coming. Silk Ali, if you're on him, you're just about to put the money in your pocket, but no. Fraternity grabs him. Shane Dye very vigorous, and there's no doubt he's got there. Fraternity first, Silk Ali second, and Deposition third. We're all seeing pink. Malcolm Johnston over there with Shane Dye, but I think perhaps we'll take a break first and then come back with more at Royal Randwick.
Had success there in race 5 here at Randwick aboard Fraternity. It was a terrific win for him. Congratulations to Shane, and it's nice to see him up there on the winner's podium. Fraternity, $1.70 and $1.20. Silk Ali, $2.20. Deposition didn't pay a no third tote because of just the 5 runners. $4 the Quinella, and the trifecta $13.30. Okay, well, Kenny Calendar. Let's see how they went in the tipster score. Got the money. Mal, how did you go? Money again. Oh, Mahatma. Bad luck. It's a good tipster right out of form. Kenny Calendar, he's just he's a bit like Mark Taylor, batting 0 at this particular stage, but he's got the heritage to say that he might get a little bit better.
Yes, and of course, Mal.
Okay, thank you very much, fellas. With me now, just before I give you the tote prices on the Epsom, which are just being collated, I've got the winning trainer from the Craven Plate, Graham Begg. All going to Melbourne now for Fraternity?
Yeah, no, he heads off to Melbourne later this week, and then he has his next start in the Caulfield Cup in a fortnight's time.
Were you happy with the performance?
Yeah, it was a good, strong win. You know, it was a win by a horse that's going on to be trained for a 1.5 mile race. You know, it was quite a good stout performance.
I should say this race has been a great race for you, the Craven Plate.
Yeah, it's the 4th win I've had in this race in the last 5 years, so we're pretty happy about that.
They might let you take the trophy home.
They might give me one.
Good on you, Graham. Graham Begg, the trainer of the winner, Fraternity of the Craven Plate, and Graham will have Fraternity's brother, Telesto, along in the next race, the Epsom Handicap. Let's look at these Epsom prices. Now, these prices stay fairly much the same because already, as I look over at the tote board, there's $938,000 in the win pool, almost $1 million. Soho Square showing $21, March Hare $9, Big Dreams $11, Kingston Bay $34, Telesto, the brother to Fraternity, $14, Poetics King is a scratching, Bundy Ladder showing $12, Cabora $18, Slight Chance, the only female in the field, the only lady, she's showing $12, Unequalled $51, Potential Star fairly short on the tote, $7, Capstead $101, My Diamond Rouge $81, Tenor $9.50, the John Hawkes trained, Wabasso from Perth at $81, Play or Pay $21, Bart Cummings representative Mr. Mutual Respect $18, Carptingley from South Oz $21, Star Dancer $12, Over the Top $18, and Navy Seal $34. Wowee, 20 runners. What do we pick? Well, I'm going to back Over the Top. He's got no weight. He's at good odds, and I'm banging my $10 straight out on his nose. Malcolm Johnston, what say you?
I'm not going to agree with you, Deffy, but I'm way down. I like Star Dancer. I'm going to have my $10 on Star Dancer. I think from the 1 alley, he's going to have an absolutely beautiful trip. About 3 back on the fence, and I think he can just about get the cash.
Mel, field of 20, but there's probably 12 or 14 fair dinkum definite chances.
Oh, undoubtedly, Ken. This is a very tough race. There's going to be a ton of speed on. Your horse will probably have to cross from the 21 alley. There's a ton of speed on. I'm looking for the horse that I believe is going to have a bit of luck, because luck's going to play an important part in this race.
OK, Mel's backing Star Dancer. I reckon Over the Top will make his own luck. Let's look at what Mahatma thinks.
Thank you very much, Ken. Well, here I am at the Cannon Marquee, surrounded by these beautiful girls, and they are telling me that Soho Square is going to win this particular race, and you'll never guess, that is where my uncle Antuma Pants has one of the shops in London. It's got to win. Thank you very much, girls.
Yes, cheers to Mahatma Coat. They're looking very much at home underneath the marquee. OK, earlier in the show, we stepped away from the racetrack to enjoy a little adventure in the hike.
Yes, and there are the candidates for the 1994 Epsom Handicap, sponsored this year by Kennan. And TAB number 16 is Play or Pay, who you saw in centre screen there. I think he's got a chance. I've actually tipped him in second spot. The horse I've tipped on top is Over the Top, but the horse tote players have gone for is TAB number 11, Potential Star. Let's have a look at these tote prices. Number 1, Soho Square, goes great over the mile at Randwick, or the 1,600 metres at Randwick. He's still showing $21. March Hare, favourite in some quarters, is showing $8 on the tote. Big Dreams, $12. Number 4, Kingston Bay at $34. Telesto at $12. Poetic King is a scratching. Bundy Lad, number 7 at $12. Number 8, Cabora, $18. Number 9, Slight Chance, is showing $12. Unequalled is a $51 result. Potential Star, favourite on the tote, $7.50 for $1 investment. Capstead is over $100. My Diamond Rouge at $81. Number 14, Tenor, paying $9 exactly. Number 15, Wabasso, $81. Number 16, Play or Pay, is out to $21. Mr. Mutual Respect, the Bart Cummings runner, number 17 at $18. Number 18, Carftingly at $21. Number 19, Star Dancer at $13 now. Between 12 and 14, we'll put him at 14. He's not quite that rich yet. Number 20, Over the Top, the horse I've tipped, is showing at $18, and Navy Seal at $34. 20 runners in the Epsom Handicap. Poetic King was scratched when he got a slight attack of colic during the week, and Navy Seal, the first emergency, took his place in the field. As we look at the horses parading round the Randwick race, the Randwick Parade Ring. That's number 2, March Hare, to be ridden by Jimmy Cassidy. We've got a profile on March Hare. Do you think he can win? Have a look at this.
If ever a horse stood out as the ideal Epsom contender, it's the flashy 4-year-old stallion March Hare. The striking chestnut with the flaxen mane and tail was no bargain basement buy as a yearling. In fact, he cost a cool $200,000 at the 1991 Easter sales. But at this point has returned his owners close to 4 times that amount. March Hare is trained by John Morrish, who spent several of his formative years working for legendary trainer Bart Cummings. Some of the Cummings' big race magic has rubbed off on Morrish, who has his sights fairly and squarely on the Epsom with March Hare.
Perfect race would be probably drawing a barrier towards the middle to the inside of the field, and probably running about 5 lengths off the lead, with about in the middle stages and probably 3 or 4 on straightening.
To date, March Hare is the winner of 6 races from 17 starts, but most importantly, 4 of those wins have been over the Epsom course of 1,600 metres. And at 3, the Group 1 George Main Stakes in race record time. Just recently, he won his 4th major Randwick mile, the time-honoured Chelmsford Stakes.
Oppressor kicked away, led by about 3 lengths to Kingston Bay, followed by March Hare, who's hanging a bit. He's getting right out to the middle of the track. Telesto starting to wind up now, but Oppressor is well clear with 100 to go. March Hare out under the arches has just about got him, I think. March Hare coming at Oppressor, further out Fraternity, but March Hare wins the Chelmsford. Fraternity wide out might just get second in front of Oppressor, who ran a hell of a...
Yes, and our jockeys have mounted for the Epsom, and by golly, he is a handsome horse, March Hare. If you're saying nothing else about him, he sure is handsome, and he likes this Randwick 1600 metres. There's TAB number 21, one of the roughies in the race. That's Navy Seal, and he's ridden by leading jockey Darren Beedman. There's number 14, Tenor. Tenor is highly fancied. He's a Group 1 winner with only 51.5 kilos, 5.5 kilos under weight for age. Let's have a look at some of the background on Tenor.
Leviathan owners Jack and Bob Ingham are relying on this horse to provide them with their first major Randwick 1600 metre success. His name is Tenor. He's a tradesman-like 4-year-old chestnut stallion with 4 wins from 20 starts on the board. So far, he joined the Group 1 Brigade on June 11th this year with a start win over 2,400 metres in the Queensland Derby at Eagle Farm.
It's Tenor length in front. Paris Lane's trying hard, but this is the best rails run I have ever seen in a big race, and Tenor wins the Derby.
Tenor has been prepared to the minute by the Ingham's private trainer, John Hawkes.
Well, he's a promising horse. Always showed a lot of promise as a young horse, and we've always thought that he would stay. And he just took a long while to mature. And in the early part of his career, you know, he sort of was never rode right. You know, he had to be rode up on the pace. But as he's got older, we rode him back in the field, and that in turn, with maturity, has helped him get further.
Derby winners are not usually likely types for a race like the Epsom, but Tenor is an exception because he has a turn of natural speed. A commodity inherited from his sire, the 1988 Golden Slipper winner Star Watch, who died after only 2 seasons at the stud. He's already the sire of more than 40 individual winners, with another 76 named foals yet to be produced. An exciting prospect for Jack and Bob Ingham, who'll race the majority of them.
And there he is. I was nearly going to say in person, I should say, as a horse. Live is the best way to describe it. Number 14, Tenor, with Grant Cooksley on top, racing in the Ingham's Brothers, all cerise colours. I'm sure they're very familiar now to people who follow racing. We'll have another quick run through the tote board, I think. There's been a couple of changes. Soho Square is still at $21. March Hare at $8. Remember, these are for $1 investment. Big Dreams at $12, Kingston Bay at $41, Telesto $14, Poetic King is a scratching. Bundy Lad at $12, Cabora $18, Slight Chance $12, $51 Unequalled, $8 Potential Star, $101 Capstead, $81 My Diamond Rouge, Tenor, $8.50 Tenor, Wabasso at $81, Play or Pay $21, number 17 is showing at $18, Mr. Mutual Respect. Number 18, Carptingley, still at $21. Number 19, Star Dancer, will bring him in a little to about $12. Over the top is still at $18, give him strength. And Navy Seal from $34 into $31. Okay, the horses are going out on the track. There, TAB number 17 just went through, was Mr. Mutual Respect, followed by Carptingley from South Australia in the gold and red colours. Carptingley finished second recently in the Cameron Handicap at Newcastle. He's followed by Star Dancer there in the blue and white. Chris Muntz has the ride on Star Dancer, beaten on Brave Warrior. Perhaps his luck will change here. Following Star Dancer, or that was Kingston Bay there in the bright yellow colours is Telesto, and immediately behind Telesto is Bundy Lad. Bundy Lad is a Kiwi, a New Zealander, and Bundy Lad is being ridden by Larry Olsen, who you saw playing golf earlier in the program. Number 10 playing up a little bit there is the Queenslander Unequalled. On his left is Cabora in the white and green colours with the green star. Cabora, one of the big team from the Lee Friedman stables. Lee makes a habit of winning Group 1 races, so perhaps Cabora has got a better chance than many people might think. Okay, they're on their way to the barrier. We might take a chance to have a rest now, and we'll be back for the action of the 1994 Epsom Handicap. Behind the barrier is number 13, My Diamond Rouge, ridden by the apprentice, the youngest jockey in the race, Corey Brown, and a very good jockey he is. He was the champion Sydney apprentice of the 1993-94 racing season. Let's run down the tote board again. Number 1, Soho Square, $21. Bit of action with March Hare. He's into $7.50, 6.5 to 1. Number 3, Big Dreams at $12. Number 4, Kingston Bay at $41. Number 5, Telesto,